Good morning. I hope everyone is doing well. I want to thank Dr. Kuntz and the faculty and staff for carving out time out of y'all's busy schedule to have this program. Also want to thank you for the introduction. And I want you to be patient with an old guy that is an amateur recording stuff and will sometimes need to refer to his notes and put on some glasses. But I've practiced what I'm going to say in front of the dog, and it's coming out around 4 or 5 minutes. I had to move someplace away from the dog because he kept wanting to add to the story, and it really wasn't helpful. So we'll go ahead and get into what I want to talk about. And again, it's not going to be real long, so try to hang in there and pay attention. So 243 years ago, a guy named Thomas Jefferson gave the ideas that were kicking around at the time, gave them a purpose and put them on paper. And that document that he came up with was the Declaration of Independence. And the Declaration of Independence was essentially us telling the world, and especially England, that we were no longer a part of England and that we were our own independent and free country, and we were going to do what we as the people of the United States wanted to do. And I thought it was interesting when I was reading back through it that the last word in that document is honor. And honor is one of two concepts or two ideas that I want to focus on today. The other idea that I want to focus on is how do we properly say thanks to veterans? So when you think about the word honor, it has a lot of different context. And when I say context, I mean it depends on what kind of sentence it's used in or what kind of idea it's used in. But it has a lot of different meanings. In this case, I want to talk about what it means to be honorable and what it means to believe in something that is bigger than yourself and something that is worth sacrificing for. So we as Americans have been under attack by different countries ever since 1776. Some of the most famous ones and some that you will study will be the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. I hope you learn about the attack of Iraq into one of our friends, Kuwait, in 1990. And you will certainly and hopefully understand the impacts of the attack on our country by people that hijacked planes and flew them into buildings in Washington, D.C. and New York City. When those things happen, Americans have to have people that will stand up and say, no, you don't get to do that. We're going to live our lives the way that we want to. And I don't care what happens to me personally, but you don't get to do that to us. That is honorable. That is putting your personal well-being and setting it aside and protecting your country, your family, and what you believe in. Think of it this way. If you have a younger brother or a younger sister or just a younger friend that is getting picked on all the time, you're going to get tired of that, and you're going to tell that bully to stop. And you will stand between danger and your little brother or sister or friend. You do that without really thinking about it because it's that important to you. That's what veterans have done. Veterans have stood up in between people that want to hurt us and our way of life because it's that important to us. And so they acted honorably. I want you to think about honorable actions, and start to try and do some things that are honorable, and talk to your teachers about it and what that means. The other thing I want to focus on is, how do we say thank you? What is the best way for us as students and staff and everyone there at Pemberton to say thank you to veterans? Picture this with me. Think if Pemberton Elementary School was known in in Henrico, in this area as one of the kindest schools in the county or in the region. Think of it if Pemberton was known for students that, when a new student came, was welcomed by other students and was helped to feel good about being there. Think of a place where a bully is afraid to walk down the hall instead of the other way around. Because the bully knows that if he's getting caught bullying someone, that 5 of you are going to tell him to stop. So if you want to say thank you to a veteran, practice kindness. Take care of each other and accept each other for who you are. We're all different, but we can learn from each other. That is the best way to say thank you. In other words, to say thank you, live your life in a way that is worthy of the sacrifices that have been made by veterans. The other thing I'll just leave you with is, if you don't know a veteran personally, you probably know someone who's married to a veteran, or has a brother that is a veteran, or someone that has served. Veterans don't serve alone. Their families probably take on a greater sacrifice than the veterans themselves. I know when I was deployed, I knew what was happening to me at the time. But Miss Barnes, who teaches there, is my wife, and there were times where she didn't hear from me for 3 or 4 weeks, and she didn't know what was going on, and she was worried about me constantly. So thank them also. Thank them and thank their families, because they are part of what kept us going. Again, I want to thank you guys for putting up with me. I see I'm coming up on 8 minutes, so I will go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you very much for having me, and have a great day. Bye-bye.